Hi, it's another Wednesday evening, and we are reviewing my Dream Journey book with the author. Today we are looking at chapter 4. I hope you have your book with you, and if you don't have a copy, check my Facebook page for a link that will help you purchase the book from my online store. I hope you have had a nice day and that you are making progress in your journey towards your desired future with the help of my Dream Journey book. Chapter 4 is titled, Who Said You Have to Go It Alone? And indeed, who said you have to go it alone? For sure, it's your journey, your dream, your vision, your desired future. But that doesn't mean that you cannot ask for help. So in chapter 4, we are looking at what kind of person you might be looking for, what are their qualities, and what you might be wanting to gain from them. You know, human beings are social, so it is perfectly normal that you may want to get some support from another human being or from someone else. And asking for help is a perfectly good strategy for you to get on with, with your life's journey and moving towards your vision and your dream. So who can help you? I think that's the question that perhaps we should dwell on. Who can help you? In career coaching, you might hear of developmental relationships. This is where a colleague or colleagues can help you in various ways. So, do you need a sounding board? Somebody with whom to discuss ideas? Is it feedback that you're seeking in order to improve yourself? Who can give you unbiased and useful feedback if that is the case? Are you perhaps looking for someone to champion your cause? Maybe someone who is in a position of influence and can therefore put your name forward when opportunities arise for projects or promotions? It's really quite important that you understand what you would like somebody to help you with, so that you then find the right kind of person to help you. And even if your needs are not workplace related, I think that developmental relationships would still apply. I mean, even if it's not about work, you might be wanting a sounding board, you might be wanting somebody to give you feedback, you might be looking for somebody to be a cheerleader. You might be wanting somebody who roots for you and supports you and affirms you and really, is on the sidelines cheering you on as you're moving along your journey. So who, in that case, who from among your friends and family could play these roles? And as you think about those developmental relationships, it's also quite key to ask yourself, what is your current relationship with these people? Maybe at the end of this session, you are going to sit down and make a list of people that you might want to approach soon, or perhaps in the medium term. It's quite important to understand what kind of relationship you have with them already, because it's quite odd if you just go up to somebody with whom you have absolutely no relationship and you start asking them for help. But as I said, the key is to really understand what you need, and maybe then spend a few minutes or some time asking yourself, how do I understand what I need? It could just be from a good understanding of what your desires are, what future you're moving towards. We have already covered this in quite some detail in chapters 1 and 2, where you did an assessment to understand exactly where you are and to help you prioritize what you need, or what would have the greatest impact on your future growth. But even if you didn't do this assessment or you haven't done this assessment, you could also begin to understand the kind of relationship or the kind of person you would need help from by listening to feedback that you perhaps receive on a regular basis from friends, family, colleagues, bosses, etc. And it's also quite important to note that it is unlikely that you're going to get all these roles in one person. So it's unlikely that one person will be the person to give you unbiased, constructive feedback, while at the same time acting as your cheerleader, and at the same time, being championing your cause and all that. It's not impossible, but it is not very likely. So you will probably have a number of people on your list that are looking at doing several things for you depending on your needs. I just want to emphasize again that relationships are best nurtured before you need the person. Yeah. So I urge you to also reflect upon that and to think about your interactions with various people. It may be possible because of certain positions that people hold that you don't know them personally, in which case it would make sense for you to approach them first, maybe via an email explaining who you are and what you would like, but also laying down what your expectations would be from the person so that the person is in an informed position to let you know whether they can give you what you want. It's really a question of investing in the relationship once it has been developed. And when I say investing, I mean time, energy, and depending on the person that you are approaching, perhaps money. If you are looking at working with a coach, for example, you may need to pay some money. Some coaches will offer pro bono services, but professional coaches will charge you some money. So be prepared for that. But most importantly, be prepared to invest yourself, your presence, your motivation, your time and energy, and demonstrate to the person that you are benefiting and you're making progress from this relationship. I would also just like to say that the idea of asking for help does not suggest that you're transferring responsibility to the other person. And it does not suggest that you're creating a permanent relationship where you are the receiver and the other person is a giver. In fact, it is in your own best interests to work on relationships that, help you to develop a sustainable trajectory towards wherever you want to go. I would be very, very worried if I was, getting into a relationship where the person is such that I cannot do without them. So when you're thinking about the person or the people that you would like to ask for help from, think about somebody who will, as they say, teach you how to fish rather than give you fish. Somebody who will be honest with you without necessarily being brutal. Somebody who understands what you need. Somebody with whom you feel a connection. Don't go for a name, or don't go for somebody just because people say this kind of person once helped me, or this kind of person, or this person helped somebody else. Also look for a connection between you and the person. Even if the person is knowledgeable, if there is no connection, you may not benefit from the relationship. As for those of you who have been working with the book, as usual, there are empty spaces where you could write down your thoughts, your reflections, or your plans. So in chapter 4, I'm suggesting that you make a list of people you could approach. Obviously, you will need to know how to contact them, so maybe an email address or a phone number. And then I'm also suggesting that you spend some time thinking about the qualities that you want in these people or this person that you want to approach. The qualities will depend on what role you are expecting this person to play in your life. And it might be well worth it to think about it and maybe to write down some notes. And finally, in chapter 4, you also have space to write down your plan. So this could simply be, an indication as to when you're going to contact who and what role you envisage that they're going to play. Whether you're going to be seeking feedback from them, whether you're going to be looking for them to cheer you on, or to help you make contact with other people that you feel that you need. So putting that down in a plan will also help you to track your progress. And I suggest that when you speak to the people, also take note of the questions that they might put to you, because this might be helpful for the next contact that you make. So that is it for today. Thank you to those of you who have joined me. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Jessica, and all the others who have joined me on this live video. I'll see you again next Wednesday, and we'll be looking at chapter 5. And chapter 5 is titled My Kind of Fear. Bye-bye.